What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 29, I want to say, of my Total Warhammer 2 modded Arkhan the Black campaign. So as we saw last time, Khalida has basically been destroyed. She does have 2 cities remaining, but her armies have fallen, and the 2 settlements appear to be more or less undefended. There's a little bit of a half stack here, and I guess depending on what it does, we will decide how we will finish off this faction, because if this army moves here outside of Rosetta, the King Kura's army might not be strong enough to destroy it by itself, at least not without major bat and doggo losses. And especially it would be really hard to deal with the cav units, because this is a support army. It's not supposed to be able to fight on its own, and it will probably never be able to until it probably gets a few bone giants in here or something. But again, as I said, it's supposed to be a support army. It'll deal with Rosetta if it can, and if it can't, we'll have Arkhan do it himself. Now, we are getting rather close to Nagash, which is quite lovely for us. Our ghouls are approaching it, which I feel is absolutely the right thing. Whether we'll be able to take Nagash with just the ghoul army is going to be the question. It really depends on if they're going to get a full stack in here, because we won't be able to use our artillery with the ghoul army because it doesn't have any. So when you're fighting Skaven, you definitely want artillery. But I guess we'll leave that to the next turn or so. We also have several of our armies that are now effective. Well, at least King Alamizash and his Ushabti army, and King Setap with his glorious Tomb Guard and Necropolis Knight army. They're going on to their respective new targets, so that should be fairly close. We are also going to continue building up these 2 armies. The Krokagar Legion and the basic unit army, the one that's going out to sea, King Rakash, he's almost ready to go. He just needs a Deathcaster and a couple of Screaming Skull catapults in here, I think. That's what I eventually ended up deciding on. And then King Thutup's going to take a while to build, as he does need some Kemrian War Sphinxes, as that's what he's going to buff. Anyway, I believe I've done everything between the turns as needed, i.e. building all the stuff, as you can see that there is no cash remaining, moving at least most of the heroes. We've gotten to the point that we have so many heroes that I'm kind of a little bit too lazy to move them all. And plus, I've always found agent spam to be a little bit cheap and annoying. Too many agents is just... I really wish that you could... Oh, wow, okay, no, Arkhan's gonna have to deal with this. I really wish that you could set some agents to do some stuff automatically, but I guess the cost of actions is so high for some agents that it's not really, that doesn't really make sense. Okay, so... Man, I guess we could try to attack this. I just feel like this isn't gonna go well. The problem is this army has no main line. And hey, Architecture of the White Palace, so income from cities plus 10 didn't appear to actually change our income all that much, if at all. But I do appreciate the construction time for province main settlement buildings. A leadership plus 10 for all armies, eh? And do we try this? Let's see, they have... Oh man, they have a Tomb Guard unit in here. So they have 3 melee units here, they have 3 more here, and a bunch of Yeah, no, this army can't do it. Not without pulling off an ambush or something like that. Although, they do have the artillery. But then how could we deal with the chariots? That's the problem. Man, you know what? I feel like I'm gonna do it anyway. I just feel like this is gonna be really fun, even if we're going to take a huge mauling. It's just generally those battles where you do take a huge mauling are really quite enjoyable to play. So you know what? Screw it. King Kura, you're gonna get the chance to shine on your own. You're gonna go into Corrupted Dynasty stance though, because you're going to need all the help and all the extra melee units you can get. And before I forget, I guess we're going to burn down this Undercity. And we still haven't found the last settlement of Clan Wars. Where the hell are they? And I should have turned that off, and I never do, and I never will. Damn it. Okay, we also have... Oh, damn. Crooked Moon, Mutna's Gits. You've jumped from here over Karakazgal, now you're kind of close to Kradtomen, and you're kind of close to Death Gorge. Neither of which can defend themselves, even against your trash army. I guess we could try to upgrade this and maybe hope that it can defend itself, but I really doubt it. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Damn it. Okay, well, if we lose some of these territories, I don't really care that much. At the end of the day, we can come back. And Nagash is more important at this stage, so let's keep going over there. Hey, it looks like the Skaven army that was over here actually went somewhere. Oh, damn. Were they going to retake Desolation? Nagash should have let them do that. Oh well. Hopefully this guy tries to jump away in the underway and we intercept. Oh wait, can you even... I don't think you can intercept when you're in march stance. Can you? I don't actually know. Okay, well, as long as he's not defending the Gashazar, the Ghoul army should be able to take care of it for us, even though it's going to take us... Oh man, it's going to take us so long to get here. Damn these mountains, if only we could do the underway stance. Okay, well, whatever. As I said, I don't really care about that portion of the map. Now, I do remember I wanted to spend cash on something. Which is why I was hesitant to get the Clan Moors upgrade. The problem is I don't remember exactly what it was. I do remember I wanted to get a couple more of these Pits of Souls in some places, and I guess we should upgrade this Pyramidion while we're at it. And yeah, that's basically all our cash. Pits of Souls for the purpose of getting more Screaming Skull Catapults when they're available. And in fact, King Rakash, you can move out of Khemri now. Move into Alhaik, or somewhere over here. You're going to go out to sea. You can build your new units over there. Lich Priest of Light, what are you? Oh, you're a Battle Priest. Okay, just get some magical reserves then, buddy. I might delete you later. I'm not sure. We also have our brand new Prince. You're going to move into here. And as I said, since King Footep buffs up Lords and Heroes in bed, it's only 10 melee attack, but I feel like we don't have an army with a lot of heroes, so this is the one that's going to have it. So he's going to have 2 Tomb Princes. As soon as I get a Tomb Prince whose attributes I like well enough, I was hoping to get... Oh, maybe we should do 3 Tomb Princes. No, but he's going to need a caster as well, and I feel like 5 should be the limit. I mean, 4 heroes plus the Lord, so that should be 2 Tomb Princes, 1 caster, and 1 Necrotect. Which is going to be quite a few anyway. And then no artillery in here. Okay. And then, ooh, yes, you are going to move out here. Damn, Remnants of Battle is an actual fight, so you can't go there, but you're going to go to Sartosa. Gotta get that quest done finally. It's taking forever. Let's check our Death Priest, shall we? See if we got the one that we need for you. We got Wrathful and Treacherous, neither one of which I like. What we'll do then is we will summon neither one. We will then delete... Oh, damn, I guess we're gonna have to delete Tutmos. Sorry, Tutmos.
Eternally loyal.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but I don't think there's another priest that we can delete, at least not near here. I guess we could delete one of those that are out there, but we can also resummon you, so... And not you in particular, but another Lich Priest. Now, what we'll do here is, since we're looking for a Death Priest, we're going to summon you, and then we're going to immediately skill you up to, I guess, be one of these guys. You know what? We could just... On the other hand, just delete you instead. And then do this to 2 priests. Because that should refill these guys sooner, right? Just do that. Alright, get another Death Priest. You're Wrathful. You're going to get immediately deleted. Goodbye. And then hopefully we can get one that will fit in this army. Now, is there anything else we... but now that I think about it, this army would probably benefit more from a Nehekara Priest than anything else, because this is an army that is going to expect to take a ton of casualties at all times, just because it has very basic troops. And the Nehekara Priest actually does heal. But we have so many of these. Also, I don't like either one of these. Okay, you know what? Let's just do both, and then we'll basically do it by luck of the draw. We're gonna get a Death Priest in the Scorpion army anyway, so it's not a huge deal. We just have to figure out which army to put the Shadow Priest in afterwards. There we go. I wonder if we could have actually swapped some of them out. We have a Nehekaran Priest in the Ushabti army, don't we? Oh wait, that's a Necrotech. You're a Nehekaran Priest and you're wise. I mean, you do work quite well with the Ushabti as well, probably better than a Death Priest would. Death Priests are sources of damage, whereas you buff up the Ushabti, you can use the Tross Incantation of Smiting on the range, and then Neru's Incantation of Protection on the melee, but that's exactly what I was thinking about doing for these guys as well. Although the Smiting wouldn't be as good on these guys, I guess we could use it on the Catapults. Yeah, so Nehekara would probably be quite good here. I guess we could get you a Death Priest then. And just change it up like that. Because you're not a caster yourself. Yeah, alright, fine. We'll go to Hekar for you and then Death for you, as well as the Scorpion army. And then I'll have to figure out who to put the Shadow army on. Anyway, let's get back to moving. Ah, damn. This takes up too much time. And in fact, you know what? Screw it. Let's just attack right now. Let's do this. Let's see if we can manage to pull this off. Now, we want to attack them outside the city so that they get reinforcements. This army appears to be in the city itself, but this army, if we can click the right one, that's this one, is outside. So let's go for... Wait, I swear I put you in Corrupted Dynasties. Am I crazy? Did I not do that? Okay, well, whatever. Go.
And destroy.
Alright, he's not going to move out of the way, and it looks like we have a pretty decent chance here, although the Auto-Resolve might be lying here. They do have Ushabti. How are we going to deal with Ushabti with this? The bats will just get wrecked because of the, because of the splash damage. Alright, let's find out. Alrighty, here we go, a little mini battle, as it were, with our support army, which is not the kind of army that's supposed to fight in general, but we'll see if we can make it work. I expect massive losses in our army. We could even lose this, despite what the Auto-Resolve says, because the Auto-Resolve doesn't really take into consideration the balance of unit types. So, yeah. First things first, this Tomb King spawned by himself, so we are going to charge him with our Direwolves as well as the Flock of Joff. The reason for the Direwolves in here, despite the fact that they'll probably take damage to the Chariot Charge, is just to get him to stop and hold him in place while our Tomb Prince and our Tomb King get here to try to kill him, as obviously the Hounds aren't good enough to actually do damage to a Tomb King and actually kill him. Although the Flock of Joff should be able to do a decent amount of damage to him, so that should work out. In the meantime, the enemy armies are spawning in two separate places, but they are unfortunately close to each other, so we can't really divide and conquer with our army, even though that was kind of my plan here. Bit of a shame. I would have loved to destroy this army separately and then just go for the much bigger army over here, which is also much better balanced since they have melee, range, chariots, flyer supports, and all that sorts of stuff. We'll probably make our own army of that sort of caliber at some point, although to be fair, I feel like Arkhan's army is fairly decently balanced as well, if you take into consideration the caskets and count them as ranged units instead of artillery, which they are, but they work better than a lot of ranged units anyway, so that's just fine. Anyway, finally, King Kura arrives to smack this guy around on his Cameron War Sphinx. We immediately get the Direwolves out. See, they've taken a little bit of damage, but not a huge deal. Some model losses there, but once again, it was worth it just to keep this guy here, because that's a Tomb King that's out, and that's a Tomb King that can't rush at our Screaming Skull catapult sign. Unfortunately, we also don't have the troop capacity that the enemy have. They do outnumber us, which means we can't afford to put troops to guard the Screaming Skull catapults. They will have to take damage when the enemy inevitably spawns Ushabti on top of them. We're also going to have to send in our bats, our highest melee defending units, as our frontliners. They are going to get hit by some range casts of from the Lich Priests of Light, and they do seem to have several of them, so I do expect to see a lot of Shem's Burning Gazes going in. So we have a Lich High Priest here, as well as another Lich High Priest over here. Looks like the AI seems to favor that particular type of unit. They also have a Tomb Prince going over here, and it looks like a fairly decent portion of the enemy army is going to peel off and try to attack all of our range units. Our Screaming Skulls are trying to cull the enemy, haha. But they are firing, is what I was trying to say before I screwed that whole thing up. And they are going to try to focus down. I believe they're going to switch to this Tomb Guard unit in a second, but they can only reach the Nahekara warriors at first. Our bats are flying around, and the goal here... Oh, whoa, I did not mean to up all that way. Goal for the Bats is obviously going to be to tie up their artillery, tie up their range, and tie up both Lich High Priests. Just because the Lich High Priests aren't as good in melee, and they should be able to take a decent amount of damage. We also have our Direwolves waiting around for the enemy units to get distracted by Bats so that they can charge them, but that's going to take a decent amount of time. Tomb King is now fighting the Hekar Horsemen. This is sort of a counter charge going on here, just to prevent the Hekar and Horsemen from going past him and attacking the catapults and just destroying them all. That would have probably won it for the AI right there, if we couldn't get back to it. Of course, the Flock of Joff, as well as the supporting Fellbat unit that is over here, they just destroyed an enemy Carrion unit, which I believe is fully dead now. And they are hanging around here, so I guess they could still return and defend the catapults if they need to. We also have a little bit of a range duel going over here between our own basic skeleton archers and the enemy basic skeleton archers. But 2 versus 1 would means this unit will get deleted fairly soon. Our White King is over here also just trying to distract the enemies. He started in a debilitated stance. This army does not in fact have a caster, so we don't have any Winds of Magic, unfortunately. Which appears to be the reason why that happens to him, at least as I understand it. Our Bats are also going to take quite a bit of damage, as you can see right here. They're not meant to be mainliners, even if they're good at tying enemy units up. Things like Chariots and Hekaran Warriors do way too much damage for them to really contend with. So that is, it's a necessary sacrifice. Bats are very easy to re-recruit, so it's not a huge deal. But there's certainly a lot of them taking a lot of damage. The problem with that is, as soon as they're dead, that's basically our entire quote-unquote front line. Fortunately, the ones in the back line are doing their job quite well. Destroying this artillery piece, the Screaming Skull Catapult is done, and several of the enemy range units, I believe, are also not going to come back from this. So, I mean, it's give and take here. Which is really what you like to see in a battle. If a battle's difficult enough, there's a lot of give and take, and you have to sacrifice units to destroy units, as opposed to your army just obliterating the entire army with no chance, as we've seen Arkhan's army do quite a lot of times. Over here we have a unit of enemy regular warriors, skeleton warriors, sandwiched between 2 units of direwolves, which destroy them fairly handily, although they do take a bit of damage. This is probably the best use of them. I do try to isolate several more units in the same way that I isolated that one, but with the numbers of Bats dwindling, it becomes a lot more difficult. And unfortunately, the Bats do have to try and tie up this Hekaran warrior batch, just so the wolves can charge these guys. You can see these guys are turned that way, so they are getting flanked by the direwolves and attacked from every side. Of course, they are Hekaran warriors, so they are damage dealers, and the Bats do immediately take quite a bit of damage. And you can see the direwolves dropping as well. I am a little bit more impressed with the Hekaran warriors in SFO than I was with their vanilla counterpart, as I always thought that they were fairly weak and almost not worth it, but they do seem to do their job as damage dealers fairly decently in SFO. Over here in the center, we still have our Tomb Prince and King Kurak himself holding the line, both fighting some relatively elite units with the Chariots and the Ushapti, as well as the enemy lords around here. So they're doing a decent job at trying to keep the enemy away. It looks like King Kur is also surrounded by a basic unit of Carrion, which aren't really a threat, but they are an annoyance. And our Bats have very much dwindled. I believe we lost 3 or 4 units. A couple I was able to actually get off the map. There was one that was really badly hurt here, and it just was able to fly off, and there was another one here, but a couple others died as they were trying to fly off, and we have basically no front line remaining. Indeed, the enemy has spawned their Ushapti in and among our Screaming Skull Catapults, so these guys are going to go to town here. It doesn't look like they're moving yet. Okay, there we go. Well, we will have to sacrifice some of these Screaming Skulls as well. And it looks like an enemy chariot charge is going to go and finish the job. We are going to try to counter that with the Flock of Joff as well as the unit of Fellbats, but they are hurt. They were fighting a unit of... Were they fighting this unit of Ushapti or what? I don't remember what they were fighting here. Oh, they were killing the Tomb Prince. So together with the direwolves here, all 3 of these quick-moving units are moving in here after killing the Tomb Prince. They were... the Tomb Prince was being supported by this unit of Ushapti, who are also very badly damaged, but we don't have time to fight them while our Screaming Skull Catapults are in such a bad way. I'm loving how close this battle is, I gotta say. What I'm not loving so much is the fact that the enemy got to spawn their Realm of Souls Ushabti so much sooner than we did. We really could have used them. And Screaming Skulls still firing on the bright side. I believe 3 are firing, or wait, or is it 2 firing? I think 3 fire for a while and then it goes down to 2. You can see one of them is only firing half shots. I think one of them is like half distracted and half not by the Ushabti, whereas the other one is fully distracted by the chariot unit. At least King Kura is still doing a decent job. I'd like to see how many kills he's got by the end of this, although he was fighting a few lords. There is another Lich High Priest in here, which I do try to order the Tomb Prince to kill, but unfortunately the Skeleton Spears are really doing their job and protecting this Lich High Priest with their tar pitting. And we can't really deal with that. Over here, one of our doggo units has unfortunately died, but the other 3 are doing a fairly decent job. There's a skeleton archer unit that's about to die over here, although we will have to try to run away from these Ushabti first, or else they'll just kill all the poor doggos. This unit of the Hekar Warriors, despite the support, and we really could have used some magic support in this army. It's another reason why this army is a support army. It doesn't have support for itself, essentially, because it's supporting another army. And we would have been in a lot better place if we had a caster, as well as I said, if we had those 2 bone giants instead of our 2 regular skeleton archers. The bone giants really could have changed this, because if they were among the artillery, they could have taken the chariot charge, as well as that unit of Ushabti, and either damaged them badly or held them off fairly nicely. On the bright side, our 3rd level of Realm of Souls is about to come up, even though we don't have a lot of units left on the field, so we will get some healing, but more importantly, we will get some of our own Ushabti on this side of the map to counter the enemy Ushabti, because there's nothing here that can deal with this. These Ushabti are just going to kill all the bats and the direwolves that are remaining here unless we stop them. We can't really spare anybody else, so here comes the summon. Fortunately, it looks like the summon's going to, or unfortunately, these guys will go past it, but they will be fairly close to the range unit, so, you know, once again, lots of give and take. And obviously we're going to run away our direwolves. You can see a bunch of corpses of them. Poor doggos. They're good boys. They did a good job. And a Curse of Jov coming in from our Tomb Prince, who did take a lot of damage, but because of the Curse of Jov, the enemies are rampaging. Now, this is important because both of the enemy Lich High Priests are rampaging, and we can destroy them with the Tomb Prince, despite the fact that he's very much hurt. It's not like these guys are meant to fight in melee. Meanwhile, our Tomb King, King Kura, has basically destroyed the enemy regular units, and he should be able to finish off one of these Lich High Priests. The enemy army is now in debilitated mode, and it looks like we're going to be able to pull this one off, if barely. Looks like we're going to get a Pyrrhic victory here. Screaming Skull Catapults dropping their charge, or dropping their skulls among our Lord and our hero, and down goes the last of the High Priests, and I believe at the same time the entire army crumbles. And there it is, the Pyrrhic victory. We did manage to pull it off, and I really enjoyed that battle, just because I felt like it was a bit more of a struggle than the ones that we've had in recent times. But since we're getting a bunch of new armies on the field, several of them with a lot of basic units, I do expect to have a lot of good, fun, more difficult battles in the future, so I am really looking forward to that.
The day of awakening comes.
And there we go, a really fun battle in my opinion, and a well-earned, if Pyrrhic, victory for King Kura. As I've said before, I really enjoy these smaller scale battles where you don't have as a ludicrously overpowered an army as, well, Arkhan's is a pretty decent army. It's not ludicrously overpowered in the sense that, it doesn't compare to something like a 19 dragon stack or something like that, but it is a very powerful army nonetheless, whereas this army has no main line, and therefore it's ineffective in a lot of tactical situations. Anyway, we are going to harvest those organs. Man, We could have lost that entire army, and I was willing to take that risk. Then we're going to take a Rosetta over here. Fortunately, the only things we lost, really, are the doggos and the bats, and we can rebuild those quite easily. In fact, we can rebuild them at max rank. Now, I only wish I remembered how many of each I lost. I should have noted it down. Well, start with the bats. We lost one Screaming Skull Catapult, and we lost one doggo, which we will have to build in the global recruit. Wait, we can't globally recruit doggos? What? Oh. I'm just blind, that's all. It's just blindness, folks. False alarm. And let's see, what else do we need to do? I guess we gotta use the speed buff for these guys. We are going to go through actual buffs for several units now that we have more unit types, although, on the other hand, let's get the diplomatic relations with Vampire Coast and Vampire Counts. I mean, I guess we could try to get some more trades going. I hope that the regular Vamps would have gotten a port. Nah, they wouldn't have. Unless they've taken Altdorf, which I really doubt they have. No, I don't see a Vampiric Corruption all the way over here. In fact, I don't see it here. Untainted. Sylvania, what the hell happened to you? Huh. That's interesting. So, in my Norska campaign, Sylvania is doing really well, whereas in this one they're not doing well at all. I guess it's because Norska takes out a lot of their natural enemies. Okay, well, let's keep leveling, shall we? You are, wait, you're knowledgeable. Oh, you're just over, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I guess we go for him to replace. You know what? Screw it. Just go for Potent. Everybody just go for Potent. You guys are all going to stay around here, so you're fine where you are. What else do we need to do? I guess we could just end the turn here. There's probably some money we could spend. What do we spend it on, though? We've got pretty decent income here at the Black Tower, but nothing else to upgrade, I think, as yet. Wizard Caliph's Palace. Oh, we're almost ready to start building our first Mortis engine, but we won't be able to build a second one for a while, it looks like. Wadiel Tabuk. I was gonna upgrade this, but 6k for this, and in fact, we have plenty of Tomb Guard right now. We probably don't need any more. At least not right now. Okay, no, let's just upgrade some more money out of... Oh, wow. Actually, we make so little cash here that it's probably not worth it to make cash in the Black Pyramid. Maybe we'll just set this place up to be a pseudo-military hub instead. You know what? Let's just save the cash. We'll probably need it for something else soon anyway. Let's just upgrade you before I forget. What's your buff, by the way? You're an infantry master. I gotta remember not to get you the skeleton steed, then. What else can we get you, then? Okay, you know what? Start going for those canopic jars before you buff yourself up, unfortunately. Okay, so that's pretty good. And you know what? Since we have the money, let's just burn down this freaking Undercity. There you go. Goodbye. And with that, wait, we should also build whatever is here in Lybaras. I guess we'll build a blood pool here. You know what? Go for the growth building first. Although, now that I think about it, Lamia, we're going to capture Lamia at tier 4. We don't really need a growth building, do we? But we don't need the wait, we might need a public order thing. You know what? Just temporarily build a public order thing for now. Growth's better. Screw it. Build it for now. We'll change all that up later. Let's move Arkhan in to get ready to attack Lamia next turn. Rosetra, you're gonna stay here for a while, King Kern. You know what? We can delete this while we're at it. Wait, there's a plague here. I still don't know whether the undead can be affected by the plague or not. Because it doesn't say it. But I guess we'll find out eventually. Let's end this turn then. Let's see what the Gobos do here. Will they attack Kradtomen? I expect they will. And then we'll lose Kradtomen. What can you do? Although, it really depends. Oh, damn, they have pumplings and chariot... Pump wagons? Pumplings. Pump wagons and chariots there. That's kind of annoying. Oh, and down goes Spite Peak to the Beastmen, which means we can move our ghouls back to retake it. Luther Harkin, you're gonna love us a lot more in a few seconds, but you're already trading with us, therefore we don't really care about what you have to say. Oh, Teotihuacan and the Last Defenders are no longer fighting. Probably a good thing for them, because they're about to be attacked by Arkhan. Or the followers, rather, if we're depending on whether Krokgar's down there or not. Raiding. They didn't attack anything. Where the hell did they go? Ah, they're going for Death Gorge. Oh, there's another Undercity here. Of course there is. Damn, well, Death Gorge is definitely not going to survive an attack from those guys. Oh, well, you can keep raiding. You. Do we take the Desolation of Nagash for ourselves, or do we move on to Nagashazar? That's the real question. You know what? Screw it. Move on to Nagashazar. Oh, you're going to have attrition here. Okay, fine. Move into somewhere where you don't have attrition, and we'll raid our way through this territory. Although I really feel like ghouls shouldn't wait, why would ghouls have attrition in vampiric territory? No, game. I don't appreciate that.
This is my endeavor.
Okay, yeah, so here's what I'm thinking. We take the, oh, we can't use the Great Incantation of Try yet. Really, available after 8 turns? Oh, the cooldown was 25? I didn't realize that. I guess we should use another Great Incantation of Tahoth while we have it. We could also pop the Great Incantation of Xar right now. I don't really care about the Sandville. It's more so I'm thinking the attrition in our own territory. Ah, but these guys are raiding, so I wouldn't really do anything. Plus, we have the automatic sandstorms going up anyway. You know, I don't think either of that really helps us do anything. What are you doing? Probably start leveling all of these guys by attacking these guys. Okay. Well then, you know what? We will probably still burn down this. At least it's... Oh, this one's actually not that developed, so 2.75k. That's fine. We'll burn you down. Arkhan, you can... Wait, can you auto-resolve this? I feel like you should be able to auto-resolve this. It's pretty weak. Can you destroy the walls? No, you can only damage buildings. Can you damage a wall building? Let's see. Inflicts damage upon a building and the target's settlement. Blah, 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 blah. What happens if you damage a wall building? I feel like nothing. I've never actually tried. You know what? Just screw it. Just auto-resolve this, buddy. Oh, you can't auto-resolve. Oh, wow. I did not see that their defenders were actually... Damn, 2 Hierotitan... Or 2 Necrosphinxes and a Hierotitan. And 5 Ushabti. And an Ushabti with Great Bow. Oh, what the hell? Why is this place so elite? What happened here? Is Lamia a special garrison city, or is this the normal garrison for this? And you know what? Doesn't really matter. We're going to destroy them with mostly artillery in a second. We will have to make a cut, of course. And you know what? Since there's not all that much time in this episode, I think I'll do that right now. There's a lot of admin stuff to do, but I'll do it between the episodes as usual. So here's the cut. There it is, and you know what? I think we'll make this a cinematic battle as well. I feel like there's enough enemies here that we might get some interesting animations. I really want to see the Hierotitan and stuff. Whites of Stonewrath Tarn facing off against all of these monstrous infantry and giant units. Should be fun as well. Let's try it. Alrighty, so, since the enemy has some fairly powerful defenders this time, we're going to have to do this pretty darn systematically. They have 2 Necrosphinxes. Well, the Necrosphinxes aren't actually any kind of threat to our army, mostly because they're not good at many units. Many model count units, I suppose I should say. The Hierotitan, however, is probably reasonably threatening. I don't know how we're going to... what we even have that is going to be all that good against it. I mean, I suppose... Technically, it'll probably be the Ghosts. Judging by the enemy's army composition, the Whites of Stonewrath Tarn don't actually appear to have too much of a use in this particular battle. It's going to be mainly Ghost units that are going to be destroying the enemy elite units, because that's what they're good at. And yeah, as I was saying, technically Ghost units would probably be good at destroying the Hierotitan as well. The problem there is if it uses Shem's Burning Gaze on a Ghost unit that's surrounding it, it might be able to destroy them all pretty much instantly. Now, we're obviously going to start off by destroying as many of the enemy Tomb Guard as we can with artillery. I am going to keep this sped up, as we've seen it about 1 billion times already. Not that it isn't fun, it's just that there's more fun stuff to come, I guess. And you know what? While we're doing this, we are also doing several things at the same time. First, we have Snuggles moving in over here to attack this gate. We're going to try to breach several gates at the same time. This gate with Snuggles is undefended. We're going to send the hidden Hex Race through there so that they can charge the enemy formations all the way from this side. We're also, after this is done, going to try to send Snuggles to this gatehouse, and we're going to move our ghost units, our Cairn Wraiths, or I should say our other Wraiths, or our other ghost units, in to go into the center here, while the Whites maybe take care of the Hyro Titan. Somebody has to at least distract the damn thing. Anyway, we're doing pretty good over here. It looks like this fort tower has been destroyed. This actually turned out to be one of the battles where the fort towers couldn't be targeted by our artillery. So the fact that this one got destroyed was mostly a fluke of Splash gets destroying it. This one is still alive. I believe what I did here was I targeted this wall, because apparently you can target walls even if you can't target enemy towers, which is even more weird because the tower's all the way up here. So yeah, I don't know. Fix the damn bug for game 3, CA, please. Yeah, so taking that wall out should be able to destroy this part, and with that, all of the enemy infantry units will be gone. So there will just have lots of monstrous infantry, monsters, and artillery left. Let's speed it up. And just until we run out of ammo. Or speed it back up, I should say. Poor Tomb Guard. You guys got the worst job here. To be honest, what the enemy should have done is just hid the Tomb Guard behind the walls and not bothered with the towers. But I mean, what do you expect from the AI? And we are actually moving forward this time a little bit. The reason for that is I want our artillery to target and destroy the enemy artillery over here. They have 3 sets of Screaming Skull catapults, which would actually be pretty darn decent at destroying our range units, or our ghost units rather, as well as our Whites. So as many of these dead as possible will be ideal. The enemy should summon their Ushabti on top of our own artillery at any point, but after their artillery is gone as well as their infantry, we should be able to surround and envelop all their monstrous units, or all their constructs rather. Alright, how are we doing here? This Screaming Skull catapult it's crumbling, so it should be dead soon. The other 2 are at about half HP. Down goes that one. 2 left. The enemy has now summoned their Ushabti. We'll destroy them real quick here. There we go. And the Whites of Stone at Tarn are going to be fighting them with the help of the Nehekaran warriors over here. These guys are running through. Oh, they're going to try to get out of this formation. I do try to move Arkhan in to help a little bit, and the Usirian's Legion of the Underworld stops these guys. I'm actually surprised that they couldn't charge right through them. But hey, that seems to have worked out pretty darn well. And there we go. These Ushabti. I don't know why the AI does that. It does seem to spawn them and then try to rush them out often. It might be tied to the amount of damage they take, or it might be tied to their leadership, i.e. if they get surrounded and start suffering too much of a leadership shock, maybe the AI decides that it wants to get them out so that they don't crumble. That would sort of make sense. But anyway, now that that is done, and the enemy artillery is basically gone, they're both crumbling so that they'll crumble apart, and a couple more shots should finish them off as well. There we go. We got very limited HP here. They're loading up some Screaming Skulls. Oh, did they fire? No, they're just moving. They're just moving, but our own artillery is just about out of ammo. Looks like one of our caskets still has ammo, but that's about it. We are going to send our skeleton warriors in to fight this Hyro Titan here, mostly because it's that summoned unit of skeleton warriors, and it's not like we really have anything else to do with it. Why are you just standing there, buddy? Attack these guys. Wow. Maybe I should have just ignored this thing and just gone past it. It's kind of hilarious. It's just like I'm marching in completely, with complete immunity here. Or impunity, rather. What are you doing, Hyro Titan? Why are you just standing there? Oddball. I'm actually curious when it starts to attack. Oh, it started to move all of a sudden. Okay, what the hell is this behavior? Why would it wait so long to start moving now? Here comes some remaining Screaming Skulls. Oh, and there's the attack. You gotta love the frickin' Hyro Titan. Can't wait to get a couple of these guys. There we go. They're just not all that great against big ol' elite units, but against units like this, they can hold the line for basically forever. They're so resilient. And I actually tried to get a cast off with Arkhan on it, but it took barely any damage. I checked and I don't feel like it has any magic resistance, but maybe I just misread it, and in fact does have an insane amount of magic resistance. Snuggles went in, but unfortunately got countercharged by a Necro Sphinx, which did a ton of damage in a few seconds. We will, of course, have to get Snuggles out of here because this is not a matchup. This is basically a perfect matchup for the enemy, a Necro Sphinx. This, however, is basically a perfect matchup for us. So, a give and take once again. Lots of that this episode, huh? Yeah, Necro Sphinx against the unit of Cairn Wraiths. Ideal matchup. This thing's going to get destroyed very, very quickly. Look at its HP dropping. It's taken like no damage from Snuggles, even though the damage it dished out to Snuggles was insane. And now this thing is just going to get destroyed here. And it can't do damage back. Now, if it was a Hemrian War Sphinx, it would have done a lot more to the Cairn Wraiths. But not like this. And there we go, now it is crumbling. It's about to drop to 25% HP. It should be dead at any second. Looks like the enemy doesn't actually have any... I swear it had a caster. It has a Lich High Priest. No, it has a Tomb King. Huh. I swear I saw somebody cast something. Maybe I'm mistaken. Regardless, a Necrosphinx about to go down. There's the death animation. And down it goes. Oh, huh. And it looks like when it falls down, it doesn't, quote-unquote, crush any of the Cairn Wraiths. Not that I'm completely sure that it actually can. It does normally crush infantry. Maybe it does damage, but doesn't hurt them? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to summon some basic troops from Arkhan, and they are going to support the Cairn Wraiths. We are going to charge the enemy Ushabti with Great Bow over here with all of these units. Mostly, it's just a helpful tar pit to help out the Cairn Wraiths so they don't take too much damage, although I don't expect them to. We also got a charge. Oh, I missed the charge. We got to charge in with all three of our units of Hex Wraiths here, and they actually destroyed a unit of Ushabti, a complete unit of Ushabti, and then this one, I believe, went in to try to help out, as well as half of this army. I immediately backed off. We can see that there's some damage on the Hex Wraiths, but they will have plenty more work to do. Gotta love this charge over here. In the meantime, the Hyro Titan is doing a great job. The pathing here is incredibly screwed up. I think I ordered these guys into the city like a dozen times. Obviously, the bug that's the pathing bug with regards to units trying to go through these walls and just being confused and trying to go through the gate and the wall has been persistent forever, and it looks like it's still as annoying as it's always been. I don't know, I haven't figured out any way to properly solve it. I did queued movement for some of these units, tried to get them to move here and then here and then here, but it doesn't really work so well. And it really doesn't help when the units get trapped like this by the Hyro Titan. Hyro Titan's actually not taking really any damage whatsoever. Hey, there's a Spirit Leech going on the Whites of Star. Okay, I knew that there was a cast I saw. Oh. Huh, wait, no, there's a Tomb Prince here. Where is that Spirit Leech coming from? Oh, no, it's coming from the Hyro Titan, right. The Shem's Burning Gaze and the Spirit Leech are its innate abilities. Alright, well, while the Hyro Titan we may not be able to kill easily, the very small remnants of the Tomb Guard unit that were on top of the walls are going to get wrecked by the Whites, as well as the Osirian's Legion of the Underworld. And let's just check back on our Hex Wraiths, because it's not really interesting to see everybody just surround the Titan. We have a bunch of Ghost units moving in here. You can see they're obliterating yet another unit of Ushabti. Hex Wraiths seem to be particularly good at that. And now they're going to move into another unit of Ushabti with the help of these Cairn Wraiths back here. In the meantime, another one of these poor Necro Sphinxes tried to attack us. It's already in critical blinding, and it's losing its leadership. They're obviously getting wrecked here. The enemy Ushabti are wrecking our zombies, but that's exactly what we want them to do. Arkhan's been getting a ton of summons off, so the tar pit is really working out here. The enemy Ushabti with Great Bow, the ones that did... they actually helped out with taking Snuggles out, or at least damaging Snuggles, before the Necro Sphinx went in, and I did charge this unit of Cairn Wraiths. You can see that they've been fighting them the entire time, and they have taken not a single point of damage. They're basically completely unharmed. And the Ushabti with Great Bow, obviously not great in melee, but they're usually good enough to fight basic infantry. But it's always lovely to see the Cairn Wraiths get a really good matchup like this. So lots of great matchups for them in this particular battle with all of these constructs. And there we go. The Ushabti have dropped. The Necrosphinx have dropped. Looks like the enemy Lord has been wounded in the back line. The Karen Wraiths and Hex Wraiths here have destroyed the rest of the Ushabti. And it looks like this battle is just about over. The enemy Lord appears to have fallen to Snuggles and to Arkhan over here as well. You can see the destroyed chariot. And I believe the enemy army is just crumbling. Only the Hyro Titan remains. And it's done a great job of destroying those summoned skeleton warriors. They're just about dead, and it's also taken so little damage. I mean, most of the damage that it's taken is actually from crumbling. Or from disintegrating, rather. I really gotta think about next time we encounter... Oh wait, will we ever encounter a Hyro Titan again? That's the question. The Exiles of Nehek will be the only other faction that has this, because this should be the end of the Court of Lybaras and the last other Tomb King faction in this part of the world, unless one revives somehow, although somehow I doubt it because we own essentially all the territory. And other territories that we own are vampirically corrupted, so I feel like any rebellions are going to be vampiric rebellions anyway. And they went all out for the animations of the freaking Hyro Titan. I love watching this thing. And Snuggles coming in. Snuggles is actually at half HP now. It took a ton of damage from that Necro Sphinx, but oh, down goes the... Oh, man. Couldn't see the animation to the end, but you can see the Whites of Stone Rattarn being knocked back. And, it looks like the ghost units aren't actually being knocked back. So maybe it's ghost units that, or ethereal units rather, that avoid damage to giant units falling on them, which does make sense. I mean, it sort of makes sense, because ghost units still get hit by physical enemies, they just take a lot less damage. Certainly don't get knocked back. Looks like one died over here. Oh, unless that one was actually being knocked back. Although I don't feel like that's the case. Not that it's important. It says close victory, but I disagree. We completely came out on top. Very, very much... systematic destruction of all the enemy units by playing the whole rock, paper, scissors game, minus the Hyro Titan, which we really didn't send our ghost units to deal with. But the Whites of Stone Rattarn had nothing else to do anyway, so I think that worked out pretty well in the end. There we go. That was actually a pretty fun siege battle, even with the garrison, just because of all the super elite units. Damn, was that Hyro Titan impressive, though. It did so much damage, and it just kept all of our units in that part of the battle in place. Also, this battle really allowed us to show off the strength of all the ethereal units. They did so good at destroying all the Ushabti, and the Necrosphinxes just fell like flies. And obviously Necrosphinxes aren't great at doing damage to mobs like that, but they are reasonably resilient to damage, and they just got wrecked by Karen Wraiths so fast. It was impressive. And then that one unit of Karen Wraiths that was dueling the unit of Ushabti with Great Bow. It's really odd to see how they duel a unit of Ushabti with Great Bow and take literally no damage. They're not threatening at all. Whereas they duel a unit of Nehekarn warriors or regular skeleton spearmen, and then they do take damage. It's always interesting to watch, because it's such a bizarre unit that's so good at elite fights, and then drops off when it's fighting chaff units. And the Hex Wraiths, though, they're pretty much good at everything. Anyway, close victory, obviously a lie. We did pretty awesome. Let's just double check on the damage. Arkhan did most of his damage by his summons. Obviously I'm not even going to bother looking at the casters. This damage from the Usirian's Legion of the Underworld, I feel like that's all damage to the Hyro Titan, because they were the ones that were taking care of the most of it. I think there was a little bit of a fighting with their Tomb Prince in there as well. And in terms of damage, I think the Ghost units definitely won out. Lots of damage across the board there. So there we are. And I believe with that, with the fall of Lamia, this faction should be destroyed. Opal Amulet, don't care, Province secure, Devil's Backbone, Storm of Necromancy, and faction destroyed, Court of Lybaras. There we go. Arkhan the Black is fearless, which I feel like he was already, and we did not get the special building here. We took 9 buildings, and we didn't get the special one. Oh, why don't you go to hell, game? We can build a special building here, right? Oh, wait, what? Wait, are you telling me at Lamia we can't build a vampiric building? Are you kidding me right now, game? Okie dokie. Wait, what is this? Whoa. Guardians of the Alabaster Tower? Huh. Wait, I thought we could have already built those. Or was that a different unit of Tomb Kings? Damn it. We already have Mahra Guard, Guardians of the Alabaster Tower. We have these in here. Wait, how did we get those? What allowed us to build those? I am so confused because of this. I need to check what allowed us to build these. I just checked these, didn't I? These are the Sphinx Legion. What about here? Bagar, Mahra Guard, Krokagar Legion, Asabar? I already checked that. The hell? Where did those guys come from? Huh. Wait, so can we build more of them now? I am very confused. Let's see. Oh, right, Mortis Engine. 6 turns. You know what we'll do? We'll have our support army summon the Mortis Engine, because it's so far away, it's going to take us for a while to get there. And just so I don't forget, I'm going to build it right now. This. There you go. That's going to take up all of our... 8? I mean 8. Oh, somebody's using global recruitment. Damn. That's unfortunate, but it has to be done. Let's let it happen. We build some more bats and some doggos here while we're at it. We'll figure this out as we go along. We can't build a bone giant here as well. And it looks like we can't, in fact, build any more Guardians of the Alabaster Tower. Looks like we're at... There they are. We're at 2 out of 2 here. So before getting Lamia, we built them somewhere else. I don't remember what gave us the ability to recruit them. Which city? You know what? Maybe I'll check this. I'll check this later. Oh! Is it? No, damn it. I got excited for a second. I thought it was one of these buildings. Either way, that's done. I really wish that it would allow us to build more of these if it's a secondary unlock. But that doesn't matter. I'm going to call this episode here, obviously, because we are out of time. There's a lot of admin stuff to do, which I will once again obviously take care of. Next time, we will be moving Arkhan the Black down to here, just to try to find Mr. Krogar. In fact, we're going to send all our agents down there. As soon as we find him, we'll have Arkhan duel his army personally, just to get Arkhan the buff. Then we're going to move Arkhan out of here, out of this part of the map. He's going to afterwards head towards Caracate Peaks, and we're going to try to take it from the Crooked Mutinous Gits. Nagash should also fall next episode to the Ghoul army, and maybe we might be able to, we might actually be able to fight for Sartosa. The debut of King Lamizash does look like it'll happen next episode, so that should be a fun fight, especially if there's a full stack there. We'll see how effective our Shopti are against masses upon masses of enemy Vampire Coast units. The range units are maybe going to be an issue. Really depends on how well the Ushapti do at clearing the walls. King Raka should also be able to finish up with his stuff, as his army will be ready to go, and then he's going to start taking sea battles for the extra army. I just want to kickstart our economy so that we're getting about 20k per turn, because there's still so damn many military buildings we need to build. But anyway, that's a problem for next time and the next few episodes. So with that said, as always, I do appreciate all feedback with regards to the gameplay or the way I do things on this channel. If you have a second, please do take it to leave a like and or a comment to support the channel. It really does help. As always, all glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.